We are live. Welcome back. We're back to Do and Da. I am Do.
I am Da. I think it's been since Halloween. Is that our last broadcast? Was
Um,
it Halloween?
it might have been Halloween. I don't
It's
know if we
been a
did.
long time, folks.
Yep.
We have been in and out of sickness. We have been in and out of dentist office. Dr. Vicaretti. Uh,
Shout out.
Jeree had to go to Dr. Vicaretti.
I have been to a chiropractor, and but most of the
We
reason
both had
why,
COVID.
yes.
Thank you.
Most of the reason why um we've been gone is because of my schoolwork, or I just had work and then we couldn't do it. I
Which
don't
is more important, maybe because our fans have been really after us to get back on here.
know. You know who you are.
Is it a fan or fans?
I think it's singular.
Well,
Fan.
it could be. I think we have 8 fans.
8 subscribers.
Eight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the 8 people have really been after us. By the way, Dr. Vicaretti and being a dentist
Mhm.
reminds me of my childhood.
Does it?
Yeah.
What about your
Does.
childhood?
Okay. Got a little story.
Okay.
When I was younger, we played baseball after school a lot, and I would always have to be the captain, one of the captains, and there's another kid that used to be another captain. So I always wondered who I was going to take if I had first pick of all the kids. Well, there was 2 really good kids, okay, and I didn't know which one to take. I would sit there and say, well, if I get first pick, who should I take? So I would sit there and I would contemplate it all day long. Okay, if I got first pick, who am I going to take? These 2 kids were so much better than the rest of us. It was unbelievable.
Mhm.
So, but they both had their pluses. So I often sat there and thought, who am I going to take? Who am I going to take? Should I take Vic or should I take Eddie? So I said, Vic or Eddie? Vic or Eddie? Vic or Eddie? Vic or Eddie? Should I take Vic or Eddie? So that's what brought me back to Dr. Vicar Reddy, who is Dree's dentist.
All that build up for that
All that for
show.
that. Yep, that's right. So what have we had happen since we were last on here?
Well, we lost quite a few fantasy football games, even if they were very close games. Um,
Mostly because we lost our top player to injury.
Top players
Players.
single. We had Cup and Debo, and Andrews is out for a time, and then he just fell off, doing nothing anymore.
I think he's playing hurt, plus he's getting double team now. So, anyways, our fantasy, we did end up making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. Despite our 3 top players getting hurt,
Mm-hmm.
and take that, Yahoo
We did
fantasy football. We made the playoffs despite losing our top 3 guys and losing 2 games by less than 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
So we did make the playoffs, but we lost in the first round last week.
Right, right. So that happened. That's a little fantasy football update.
Yeah. How about Mr. Aaron Judge?
Aaron Judge.
I wish I
finally.
had a clip from a previous broadcast we had on here
Mm-hmm.
that I said Judge will resign with the Yankees, and when he does come back, he should be announced that he was the captain of the team. Well, today
Your prediction is right.
we did sign Judge as predicted by Mr. Jennings, Mr. Da, and he is captain. So I wish I had that tape where I guaranteed he would re-sign with the Yankees.
Well, it's about time. Well, I'll try to find the clip later because he did say that on doing some episode that I'll have to find. But we both said that Judge would re-sign with the Yankees, but I feel like Judge should have been captain already. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's like I was looking at it, I was like, finally. But like it's about time, you know what I'm saying? Like how long has he been carrying this team on his shoulders
But he
for?
probably would have been captain before if he would have signed a long-term contract earlier. They don't want to name him captain and have him leave after a year.
That's true, I guess. But I'm I'm very happy for him. If you want, we can probably look at a few clips of Judge's little like ceremony that they had if you want to. Do you want to do that?
It's up to you.
Well, you keep talking and I'll try to pull it up.
Okay. Also, what happened while we were gone? Brittany Griner.
Oh, I want to talk about that.
Brittany Griner has returned to the United States of America, folks, after smoking pot in Russia and breaking every rule possible over there. She's back.
I have a very very strong words to say about this. And do you want to go first though, or do you want?
No, I want to hear your opinion on it.
Okay, so all I have to say is that with all due respect to Brittany Griner, um, that trade that they made, worst thing that they could have possibly done, because not only is Paul, what's that guy's name? The Marine. His first name is Paul. I forgot his last name, but he's a Marine who I believe he was undercover in Russia. I don't know the full story, but uh, literally like an American hero by definition, and he's been in Russian prison for like over a decade of time, and Brittany Griner was there for how long? Like probably like 3 months total. And not only did they not release the Marine, who's been fighting for his life for like over a decade in Russian prison systems, and gave his life to like serve this country, okay? But they traded a Russian criminal whose nickname is the Merchant of Death. He is like the Russians' number one, like Al Chapo. Like he's the Al Chapo of Russia, and he works very closely with the government because he's invented a lot of their weapon technology. He's literally called the Merchant of Death. That is their nickname translated for him. So they traded a WNBA player that's been in prison, Russian prison, for 3 months for smoking weed for a Russian criminal of the highest like extent that we caught, by the way. We caught him, whose nickname is the Merchant of Death, very dangerous man, for Brittany Griner. And I'm not saying I don't want her to be home. I'm glad that she's home in the US because being in Russia in a Russian prison is somewhere where you don't want to be. But I just think that it's the stupidest thing that trade, the Merchant of Death for a WNBA star, like are you like dumb? And not only that, but then where was the negotiation for Paul, the Marine?
Where's Paul?
He's still in Russia.
In Russia? Because he's not a WNBA player. If he was a professional athlete, if he was an NBA star, he probably would have negotiated for him before Brittany, or at least eh, for Brittany, or maybe him first, or maybe Brittany, but maybe both of them could have been negotiated for. But probably the second worst trade in United States history.
And what's the first one?
First one happens to be
Russell Wilson.
for 2 number ones and 2 number twos. That has to be the worst trade in the history of anything. Anything.
That's quite embarrassing for the Broncos, but I can't say that we didn't predict that it was going to happen. And have we always been Russell Wilson, aka the Circle haters, for pretty much his entire career? Yes, we have. But we're still unbiased, okay? Because if Russell Wilson showed up to the Broncos and started actually showing some talent that he'd never shown before in Seattle, I would have said, wow, I was wrong. But you know what? I was right. And there was never a doubt in my mind that I would be right.
Well, don't really hate Russell Wilson. I mean, I don't hate him as a person.
No.
Well, I mean, he's not to the extent of Tom Brady or let's say arrogance of Aaron Rodgers, but I just thought he was the most overrated quarterback that had ever played the game, and I thought that before he got traded. I thought that way before he got traded to Denver. So, but as a person and stuff like that, I mean, I really don't.
I mean, I just think that it's funny that other players in the NFL are making fun of him too, and for example, if you guys haven't heard the jumping jacks and working out in front of everybody on their plane, he did that while everybody was trying to sleep. While the team was trying to sleep, he was doing push-ups and jumping jacks and working out in the middle of the plane. And people have been making fun of him for that. Other NFL players, which I think that's really funny, if you had to ask me. So as a person, I don't really know, because I feel like some of the things he says are good. He never really has done any wrong, but
he might be a little goofy.
Yeah, he's a little goofy.
But I mean, I don't think he's a bad guy, really. I mean, personally,
No.
I don't think he's a bad guy. I mean, you really can't say that he's done a lot besides sucking on a football field.
Yeah. Speaking of goofy people, Kirk Cousins. Has everybody seen that video of Kirk Cousins where he's shirtless and wearing a bunch of gold chains? You've seen it.
I've seen it.
I just feel like that needs to be public knowledge if anybody has never seen it that is a football fan.
Oh, speaking of Kirk Cousins, he eliminated the Buffalo Bills from playoff contention, or from Super Bowl contention. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows about the Kirk Cousins jinx. No team has ever lost to Kirk Cousins during the regular season and went on to win the Super Bowl that year. Buffalo Bills. Sorry, Buffalo Bills fans. You have been eliminated already from Super Bowl contention.
Mm-hmm. So, if any Bills fans out there were getting their hopes up that they were going to go to the Super Bowl for the 5th time, well, you're wrong, because this is the man who eliminated you. Look at him. Can you imagine? The curse.
The curse. The Kirk Cousins curse.
Yep. And so, That's crazy. Anyway,
What else has happened since we've last? The Boston Bruins have come out on fire. They have played 19 games at home, have not lost a game in regulation yet.
mhm.
The record is something like 25 4 and 2, something like that.
Good job to the Boston Bruins. Very good
Very
job.
good. They got Patrick Bergeron was contemplating retirement. He decided to come back and play. They got Krejci back from Czechoslovakia, right?
Yeah.
Czechoslovakia.
Yeah.
And they also got Saka. What's his name? Sasha.
Yes,
Sasha
Sasha.
from New Jersey, I believe, and a nice trade. And they have a Czech line now, and they have 6 nice defensemen if they can stay healthy. Um, their goaltending has been phenomenal. Um,
Even though Swayman got hurt.
Swayman got hurt for a while, and he's starting to play better now. He was started out well. You can't say he started out slow, but he didn't really play that much. And the number one goalie has improved immensely.
Allmark.
Allmark has improved immensely
Mhm.
from last year. Although last game he kind of looked really slow
Yeah.
again, like he did last year. He gave up 2 really weak goals, but the Bruins won 7-3.
You know what? I think it's their new jerseys. It must be good luck.
Yeah, they were wearing them for a while at the beginning of the year. Now they're back to the B. Love the Pooh Bear jersey. No one's seen the Pooh Bear jersey.
I'll show it on the screen.
Let's see if we can bring up the Pooh Bear.
Oh, if it will load. Here we go.
There
Hold
we
on.
go.
Let's. No, hold on. We gotta do this. Alright. Y'all see it on the screen? So this is their Pooh Bear jerseys. Now I thought that they were like doing like a throwback thing, but they're not. Right? This is just like
No, that's just a new Pooh. That's a throwback. That's new.
mhm.
The throwback jerseys are horrible, like everybody else's.
Yeah. Because I guess there used to be one, I think in the 90s, like this is the one they wore in the 90s or something.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's really bad,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The bear looks like he needs done
But
work.
look
Dr.
at,
Piccaretti, where are you?
but
Okay.
yeah, these Pooh Bear jerseys are cool. I think they're like the best looking jerseys. Oops. Not only in hockey, but in like any sport, I think.
Okay. I got a rant about something here.
If
Okay.
you're gonna say Greg Roman, I
No,
would agree.
No, I'm not going to say Greg Roman. I am going to talk about soccer.
Oh no, Dad, you can't do this to me.
Because the World Cup has had their championship game decided by penalty kicks. Penalty kicks. You wonder what's wrong with soccer. I mean, I love to play soccer, don't get me wrong. I love to play soccer. It's a great game to play. But to watch it, it is so boring. You know how you can make it more exciting? How about taking a little clue from the NHL? Okay? During the season, the NHL decides their games with a 3-on-3 overtime, 5-minute overtime. If nobody scores, then they do a shootout, okay? Which is fine during the regular season, okay? But when it comes to playoff games, okay, when you're doing a World Cup, okay, decide your games on the field, playing soccer. Yes, soccer, not football, as as some people would call it. It's a soccer game. Okay? Decided on how about sudden death soccer. Now, I'm not a big soccer guy, fan watching it, but I would watch a sudden death match when the next goal wins. How exciting would that be? Okay? To do that. Now, also, you notice at the end of games, nobody knows how much time is left. Okay? Okay, soccer people, listen. Have a clock. When the ball goes out of play, stop the clock. Can you imagine if the NHL just played the game without a clock, and just when the puck went into the stands, they just played with extra time, and nobody knows exactly when the game is going to end except the referee. He's the only one. Shouldn't the players know how much time they have left? Whether it's, and shouldn't the fans, wouldn't it be more interesting if the fans knew exactly how much time was left? If you have a minute left, maybe you take more chances, or 2 minutes left. You don't know how much time is left exactly. You could probably figure it out approximately, right? But nobody really knows how much time is left. That is the stupidest thing. Stop the clock.
Well, I don't pay attention to soccer really. But something that I do know and that I was rooting for is just for America to beat the UK. That's
They
really
tied.
they did tie, but technically that's a win because the way that I look at it is that Britain, they have soccer, right? Like that, or football. That is their American football, okay? Like that's their sport.
It's soccer.
I know it's soccer, but for the point, that's their like sport, right? And we have like football. Like that's our sport that we're good at, okay? America is good at. Imagine, okay? That's like all the countries around the world, okay? Gear up like different football teams, and we go to a World Cup football championship, and the US makes a team that's made up of all the best players in the NFL in every position, right? Sends their best, right, to beat all the world contenders. Okay? And then Britain comes with their British Football League and comes to play the best players in the NFL in the World Cup, and they tie. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's pathetic. If the best players in the NFL play just like some team made up by the Brits, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they tie, like that's ridiculous to think about, right? But that's literally the equivalent of what happened at the World Cup.
Because that's their sport.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. But that's literally the equivalent of what happened at the World Cup this year. And I know that the Brits have never won against us ever in a World Cup, ever. I think we've tied them twice and like beat them twice. So they've never beat us, including in 1776. You really couldn't beat us, even though you had the huge, you were favorites, okay, huge favorites, and you still lost.
Well, if you're a soccer enthusiast, or if you're a soccer um, anything, commission of soccer, do they have that? I don't know. But if you are, um, your overtime games, even like in the, what is it called, MASL, I think it's called
I
MASL,
don't
something
know.
like that. The United States, the soccer leagues, any soccer league, I mean, the NHL 3-on-3 is pretty exciting in the overtime if you haven't seen it. Why not play an overtime period in soccer instead of 11-on-11? Play 7-on-7, 6-on-6, something where it opens it up and there's a lot more chance to score. Which I believe the World Cup games were about the average was 3.5 for the back lines on the whole game. That's one thing that people complain about is there's no scoring. You know, it's not. It's very common to see a 0-0 game in a soccer game. You know, it's just not a lot of action. You know, no fights hardly. I guess. Like
Yeah,
hockey,
well, they do. They flop. They flop.
They try to draw penalties, right?
Exactly.
But yeah, they're it's a soft sport, no question.
Yeah, fix your sport. Just honestly, just delete the whole thing.
Well, they can fix it. I mean, obviously they have a lot of interest around the world, um, but I mean, it'll never be a popular sport in the U.S. But they can make it a lot more exciting by changing these rules that I'm suggesting. Okay, folks. We can fix soccer. We can fix anything. Do a doc and fix everything. Just let us know. We'll fix it for you.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And
The world problems, anything.
I another thing about the World Cup, I believe it was um, Iran that the U.S. played in one round, and the U.S. beat Iran, and the citizens like of Iran were literally celebrating in the streets that America won against Iran because I mean you feel bad for the players because they're also being subjected to the abuse of the government and like the Taliban in Iran, but um,
Yeah, you feel sorry for all the
yeah, you feel sorry for all the
people
people.
in Iran and Russia and
Mhm.
China
Mhm.
that have to live under communist regimes, and
Mhm.
it's just I mean it's
But there were literally people in Iran after the U.S. beat them that were celebrating like with American flags and stuff, like waving the flag that like America beat Iran this under this government that's run by like the Taliban and stuff because they like you know show it to them that like we don't want Iran to win because we're not proud of our country now. And so yeah, people were celebrating, like the citizens were celebrating and um protesting and basically in any country that's run like that right now there's protests and people die at the protests. I'll just put it that way. But it's really sad to see. And actually, speaking of Russia, President Zelensky uh,
Ukraine.
from Ukraine just spoke to Congress, just like like an hour ago. Um, and he said something that I think is true. He was thanking the American government for the help that they put, um, or they did, but like he's like, is it enough? No, not really. And then like everybody in the Congress laughed, but like it's not really a joke though. Because if you think about it, Ukraine doesn't have the amount of resources, not even close, that Russia has, to beat them. And it's sad because Ukraine fought for their freedom from Russia years ago, and they finally got it. And now, like 30 years later, they have to fight for it again. Like it's just ridiculous, and I don't. I would never wish for anybody to be like subject to that oppression by any government. So I just feel like no matter what your stance is, like, oh, let's put America first, or like, oh, we shouldn't, we'll just leave these foreign countries to, like, no, we shouldn't, because
The problem.
it's a world thing. It's not it affects all of us. It literally affects America. Even though it's taking place in a foreign country, it does affect America directly. And I mean, it's just like if we never got involved with World War II and tried to fight against like Hitler. I mean, like, do you think that the Holocaust should we have not gotten involved in that? You know what I'm saying? Because it was in a foreign country and we didn't. Oh well, that's not our problem. No, but we did get involved because it affects the whole world, and so that's why I really think it's stupid. Even though we didn't get involved till later, but it's always been like that, where America's like we're hesitant to get into foreign affairs because we want to put America first and we don't want to like get I don't know waste our time with stuff with other foreign countries. But it is our problem. So I think that the U.S. should be doing more to help them. And um, I mean, it's obviously a tricky subject anyway. But like what we did with Iran too, where we pulled out all of our troops and the people, like the citizens, were trying to climb on the last planes to America, all trying to stuff themselves, literally climbing on the wings of the plane to try to get on. And like we withdraw all of our troops. They have no one to defend themselves. The rebellion groups, they're outpowered. Think of like, not to get dark, but like all those women, all those children raped, beaten to death, and the children are taken and being converted into the Taliban. So I would just like to say that. So yeah, it is a problem for America because what do you think all these countries are saying? Death to America. That's what they're saying. So yeah, it is our problem and we should be helping our allies because what's the UN for? The United Nations was created after World War II because we said, how did the Holocaust get to this level? Why didn't we interfere earlier? And we can't let that happen again. So that's why the UN was created in the first place. And guess what? Genocide still happens all the time. It's happening right now.
China?
It's been happening for a long time. And the UN, the US, barely doing anything to stop it, or just doing nothing at all. So, yeah, history is repeating itself, and I don't care what your political stance is, America first, whatever, you should be worried about foreign things like that affect the world.
Well, she's right, but one point that you got to bring up is okay, Sleepy Joe is worried about the Ukraine borders, but not worried about the United States borders. Of course, we don't have a problem. You know, according to Sleepy Joe, we don't have a problem with the. There's no border control. There's no problem down there. There's no terrorists coming in our country right now down there. You know, there's another thing is too. Ovechkin for the Washington hockey team. Um, he likes president of Russia. Okay,
Putin.
Putin. He's not. He's like he likes him and he thinks he's not doing anything wrong. Now for him to say that, they should have like barred him from the NHL. I mean, he's a great hockey player. Ovechkin, one of the best ever. You know, not the best ever, but one of the best ever to play the game. And to say something like that, you know, just of course, the NBA gets to play with their China uh, sneakers that they wear and
Oh, Nike. Yeah.
Nikes and that's another thing that happened since we have been on here last is the voting for the governors
Oh, yeah.
in
Yeah.
November. Okay, so we haven't talked about that. All I got to say is if do not complain about how much things cost. Do not complain about how things are really bad right now, economy wise, and uh, you know everything wise in our country. Don't complain because you just voted, if you voted for the Democrats to stay in power. It's just ridiculous that that just proves that Democrats will always be in power because if they didn't vote against what Biden has done for the last 2 years, they will never vote against Republicans. Will never have a chance at anything. They're outnumbered anyways, and it's not going to matter because And I don't care if you. To me, do over here, we think there should be no parties.
Yeah,
Democrats or Republicans, we don't think there should be any party. Just
I've
United States people.
yeah, I'm registered as an independent because I think parties are just stupid, and I'm sure this opinion or take has been said before, but when George Washington sent his farewell address, he said that if we as Americans or the American government created political parties, it would split the country apart, and that's exactly what it's doing. And in my opinion, like uh, politics, the parties literally like split the whole country apart, but they split on like a personal level, like families apart sometimes, which is crazy to me. Like if the dad and mom's like a Republican and the kids are like Democrats or something, and then they kick them out of the house or like something like that. It's like you're crazy. Like and the thing is that happens all the time. Like it's crazy to me, but the thing is that you shouldn't. Another thing, no matter what your actual belief is about something, if you are registered as a Democrat or registered as a Republican or whatever you agree with, and whoever you are, it doesn't matter what power you have, just a regular voter or a senator or whatever, um, you are always going to vote and agree with the opinion that is labeled under your party. You know what I'm saying? Even if you are a Democrat and you agree with a certain thing that the Republicans say, you're not going to like vote for that to be enacted because you are a Democrat and you don't it says Republican on it. So it kind of takes away the whole point of what your actual opinion is. Um, and I know that there's exceptions to this rule or this logic, but it's very few. Okay, and I feel like especially the people that are extremists on one side or the other should just probably like take a test, a political party test. Okay, if you have no real knowledge on the policies that your party is assigned to or that should be in favor of, take a political party test, and I guarantee you that you're almost like split down the middle. You're not going to be 100% on either side unless you were doing that on purpose. Like if you use your actual head and use your actual opinion, you're not gonna agree with totally with one side or the other. So another thing is that like uh Dad was saying, um I feel like certain Democrats uh admit that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are idiots.
Pathetic.
Um and not just with what they have done, or rather what they have not done for the country, but also just as people. Um, so there's certain Democrats that admit that, but like again, it doesn't really matter what they do because people are going to vote for their party. And they're not voting on the person or what the person stands
Or
for.
what's best for the United States of America.
Right. They just vote for their party. So I don't care what like somebody's political party is, but like if you're an extremist on either side, you're stupid. If you put your party above your own opinion, you're stupid. It's just crazy to me that, you know, it actually happened. Like, it really is splitting the country apart. And I feel like more than in the past, I don't think political parties mattered as much in the past than they do now. Because it's like radical extremists now, you know, on either side. It's like it's crazy, and I don't mess with it.
Well, one party is interested. The Democrats are not interested in making America better. They are interested in power. They don't care what they got to do to stay in power. They will try to stay in
Well,
power.
either party is because that's their whole thing. They want their policies to be enacted from their party, so they don't really care about the well-being most of the time. They just want to be in power, and that's a problem too. But with what you're saying, with the Democrats will always be in power, I think there will be more Democrats in office than Republicans now because especially with like Gen Z getting to the voting age. I know that Gen Z is very majority Democrat, and I think that's really a main reason why the Democrats succeeded in the past voting um, season. I guess I don't know how to put it, but I think that's why, because they weren't really taking into account that the Gen Zers are now old enough to vote, or some of them are, and they're like literally all Democrats. So I don't think they took that into account, and I think that's maybe a big reason why the Democrats overtook the Republicans so strongly. But going back to what you were saying again about the Democrats always being in power, um, though I agree that more Democrats will be in office than Republicans, um, I feel like whoever the president is, it's always a thing where it's like people go back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Because it's basically impossible to be liked as a president or like anybody in power like that. It's impossible. So no matter what you do, even if you actually do things well, you're always going to be hated for one reason or another. And for that reason, that's why whenever a president is in office, I feel like a lot of times it goes back and forth. Like Obama, well, actually, Obama was in for 8 years, 2 terms, but like after Obama, okay, they're like, okay, Trump, we're done with Democrats for now. And then Trump's term went by, and they're like, "Oh, we hate Trump. We gotta get a Democrat in office." And then now Biden's in office, and now everybody's saying, "Oh my God, this guy Biden. We gotta get him out of here. We're done with him." So I would honestly be shocked if a Republican doesn't win this during like the midterm.
Oh, I think the Democrats are going to win because unless they run Biden again.
Well, yeah, that's the thing too, but I don't know. I feel like it's gonna go back and forth unless Ron DeSantis runs with Trump, because I feel like the Trump Republicans are very different from the DeSantis Republicans, and they're kind of like a rivalry with each other. I just stuttered. with each other. Um,
That's a fact.
and um, so I feel like because of that rivalry, it might split the Republican vote, and which will lead the Democratic candidate to win.
Well, the only way a Republican's going to win is a lot of Democrats will have to vote for the Republicans because there's way more Democrats than Republicans. Um, and the big advantage the Democrats have is the media because all the media outlets, ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, all MSNBC, they're all they're all for the Democrats, and they will not say anything against the Democrats, no matter what. And the only way anybody can get the truth is to watch Fox News, and that is not an opinion. That is a fact, folks. That is a fact. They're the only station
I
that
think
actually.
that's an opinion.
No, it's not because Fox reports both sides. They always give both sides, no matter if it's good for the Republicans or bad for the Republicans or good for the Democrats or bad for the Democrats. They will give the truth. And a lot of these people are voting blind that are Democrat because they have no
That well,
idea
I'll say this. I'll
what's
say
going on in the
this.
country.
I'll say this. I've there's like definitely a stigma around Fox News being like very yeehaw redneck and all that stuff. Um, just watch one SNL skit and you'll see what I mean. But um, I feel like those people probably just haven't watched Fox News because I'll agree that so like a lot of the shows that they have on there, Tucker Carlson, are very yee yee haw. He's not gonna ever defend a Democrat side. He's never gonna no. He straight up just like bends things to his will and just like makes it almost into a propaganda, and that's why I hate him in his show. And I think he's a terrible person. Anyway, so yeah, there's shows on there that are yee yee, but few, I will say. Uh, because especially like on the weekends, they have shows that are hosted by Democrats. Like in the five that's on all the time, they have like one or two Democrats and everything. Like they do show both sides of the story and they debate things which I think are nice. And while CNN sometimes brings on Republicans, they choose very stupid Republicans on purpose to then shut them down. But Tucker Carlson does that too with Democrats sometimes. But that's what I'm saying. So it's who's a lesser evil here? Fox News by far. Because I've watched both, and in fact, I was forced to watch CNN in middle school. Um, every Friday we had to sit and watch CNN, so I've I've experienced both many times still, and with the majority of the media being Democrat, that's just a fact. Because listen, I took mass media actually this last semester, and yeah, we talk about it, and majority of the class is Democrat, but like nobody can argue with it. It's just in the textbook because these all media companies, all movie companies, all TV companies, all radio companies, all mass media is controlled by very few big like corporations, okay? And these corporations they own an absurd amount of media companies. Like iHeartRadio almost owns they own like I think 90% of the radio industry now, and to the point where radio majority of the radio isn't even live anymore. It's just recordings of robots and replayed streams, and even local news outlets are just owned by bigger companies, um, like NBC, and I think Paramount is the biggest movie company. They own like all the movie studios. Like, so think of it as like a tree. Okay, you have like all these companies, and then it's like owned by one, owned by one more, and then owned by the biggest, one. And then there's like probably 3 to 4 big companies that own literally everything. So they can put at whatever message they want out to the general public to reach across the country wherever they want. Okay, like they own that much. So the media is very controlled, and they can put out whatever message they want, politically motivated or not. That's all I have to say.
And before we get on to football, because we've been on for quite a while, I just want to say CNN is almost out of business because I think we draw more viewers than CNN is. I mean, they're almost down to zero.
CNN actually created a streaming company. Like, that's another thing. Everything's moving to streaming now because streaming's so successful. Everybody's getting rid of cable. But CNN actually tried to create a streaming company. I think it was last year. I think it was called CNN Plus. And Fox News has a streaming company online too. I think it's just called Fox News Unlimited or something. I don't know what it's called, something like that. But CNN tried to start a streaming company called CNN Plus, and it lasted a month and then went bankrupt, and they had to get rid of the whole thing. So yeah, they're still on television, but when they tried to move to streaming service to try to adapt to it, they literally didn't have enough subscribers to um, keep going, I guess. So yeah, you're right. The ratings are low, but I guess that's a good thing because people are realizing that they're just BS at this point. um, that's all I have to say.
Well, we have a waterway in our backyard. It's also streaming.
Oh, good one, Dad.
Okay, so let's get on to football before we for our predictions. For most people had to sit through all this just to listen to our predictions.
Yeah, nobody cares about politics. Anyway, here is a this is more Aaron Judge stuff I just wanted to show. There's the full live stream of the actual ceremony. See, here's more pictures and stuff.
Ceremony about him being captain, by the way.
Yes, and being re-signed is on Twitter. See, here we go. Here's the full live stream. If you guys do want to watch it, I watched like highlights of it. It's really cool. Like Derek Jeter was there. They have a picture, but I don't even see it on here. But it's real cool if you want to check it out. I say check it out because it's really cool what he did. There was like also kids there from like some school. I don't know what school it was, and that's his wife, right? I think that's his wife. Yeah. But some school was there in the judge's chamber up in the stands, and like he went up there like and had his judge thing on and talked to them. Like he did a lot of cool things there. So I would say watch it because it was really cool to see.
And one thing about Judge, I mean, he's like the most liked person. If you talk to anybody on the team, he is such a leader in that clubhouse. Everybody loves him. He treats everybody with respect and dignity, and he is not only is he great on the field and says all the right things. If you've ever seen him interviewed after a game, he's all you know what he's going to say, but he's not phony. He's the real deal, and just a great guy. And he, even though he wasn't named captain until today, he has been their captain.
Yeah.
For a while.
So that's why I said in the beginning about time, because
there was only one choice. If you were going to name another captain for the Yankees, you got one choice: Aaron Judge.
I mean, he's also the most popular baseball player. Like, right now. So there's no debate. But anyway, all right, on to football.
Okay.
So first, we got the Thursday night game, which is cursed. Okay, Thursday night games, worst they've ever been ever.
You know, when
Ever.
they get to pick these games out, you think they'd pick a good game. And they know, I mean, these teams, it's not like they were supposed to be good. Jaguars and the Jets. Now, the Jets are playing a lot better than anybody thought. Maybe the Jaguars are too. So these are pre-selected before the season, right?
Right.
So I mean, to tell me out of all these games this weekend, they picked the Jaguars and the Jets, and this game is actually one of the better games they've had on Thursday nights.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like watching soccer on Thursday nights. I mean, the scoring has been like way down. It's just horrible teams they have on. Okay, go ahead. You
Well,
pick.
you know who I'm gonna pick here.
Let's see. Trevor Lawrence.
No,
Oh.
not this time.
Joey the Flag.
He's not playing.
He's backup, isn't it?
Not anymore. They named, what's his name, Wilson, back
Yeah.
up.
Okay. Well, they don't
Which
have the
sucks.
offensive line really for Joe to play.
That's what I'm saying. Like last time, he showed up in the early season. He did really good, and then when he came back in after resting, it was like, who are you?
Well, he didn't.
I know he didn't really have a chance. That's the thing. So I really feel bad for him and Jets fans out there that are trashing on him. Shame. Shame on trashing on the elite goddess that is known as January Joe Cool. Anyway, despite that, I have to get my hopes up and root for the Jets. They're at home. And T-Law, you're going down, buddy. Your 5 seconds of fame is over. Now. Biggest bust of all time, and I'll stand by that. No, people argue with me. Just wait. Because his time is coming.
So the Jets by how many?
We're doing the score?
Well, I mean, you gotta tell me if it's gonna be a close game or not.
I'm gonna say by 2 touchdowns.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
I see a real close game. I see a low scoring game. I see this score maybe 2017, and hopefully the Jets will win. I'm kind of pulling for the Jets too.
I don't know. I think 2 touchdowns because I think the Jaguars are gonna fall behind and then just give up. They do that sometimes. All right, so now we got Christmas Eve games here. All right, so
Christmas Eve day.
right,
Okay.
so we got the Saints and the Brownies. Oh, look, it says favored to win underneath now. Okay, the Jets are favored to win that one. Anyway, so am I going first?
Go ahead.
Well, I agree with the favoritism here. The Brownies will win this game because the Saints are trash. And I don't want to talk about last week's Baltimore game. But I mean everybody should hate Deshaun Watson. But I do believe that he will out-talent the Saints. And it's hard to say. But maybe he'll have motivation when the masseuse is in the audience or something. I don't know. Just to show off. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll show up. He'll show up.
He may not show up. He may be arrested for doing something in a masseuse parlor. Who knows? So you're going with the Brownies big?
Yeah. I'm just going to say by 1 touchdown. I don't think it's going to be by that much.
Yeah, I don't. The Browns did not look good against Baltimore.
Yeah.
Baltimore just played like the worst game of the year, and still was in the game. Deshaun Watson, maybe the second most overrated quarterback I've ever seen.
Well, he was overrated,
Yeah.
but now I think everybody hates him because of what he did.
But anyways, I think I'm gonna go with the Brownies, probably by like 10. I'll say against the Saints. Saints. I mean, they got the carrot at quarterback.
That's what I'm saying.
That's all you. That's all I gotta say.
That's the main reason why I chose the Browns.
All right.
Anyway.
Next one, Bengals at the Patriots.
All right. Well, again, I'm going with the favoritism here. The odds. All right. I'm going with the Bengals ski. Burrow has been drinking a lot of blood lately.
Yeah, he's been getting his supplies.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the Patriots.
Oh, he still looks a little bit white on the sidelines. I don't know if he's getting a lot.
I don't know. Yeah, he. No, I think he. Well, he can't get any sun, can he?
I don't know about that.
I'm pretty sure vampires burn like they can't go in the sun.
Right, yeah, because when the sun comes up, they have to be in hiding.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Mhm. So yeah, he can't get any sun. That's why, you know. But
Yeah.
anyway, um, in the Patriots, I mean they've been improving, I think, but they're still not good.
As long as they stay away from the laterals.
Oh my God! I forgot to mention that.
Stupidest play of all time.
The Raiders, man, good for them, I guess. Oh my God, that's great. The lateral play.
All right, well, I'm going to go with the Bengals here. I'm not going to say easily. They should win by, I'll say, a touchdown over the Patriots. Patriots do not have the talent to keep up with Cincinnati.
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say 2 touchdowns again. The Bengals wins by two
touchdowns. Okay,
yeah.
I'll say a touchdown. It's at New England, so and they're coming off that game, so I think they're trying to show everybody that they're not as bad as they looked last week.
Well, here are the eliminated Billskis.
Yeah. Poor Buffalo's already eliminated. The Bills fans, some of them don't even know it.
Yeah, no, some of them don't know. They're going, the Bills made me want to shop. They don't even know.
They don't even know. They lost to Kirk Cousins, so their season is relatively. They're playing out the rest of the games.
They're not taking for
I don't
Trevor.
know why. You know, they got the best record in the AFC. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. So against the Bearskis. Well, again, the odds are right that the Bills will win this game. I don't think there's anybody out there that thinks the Bears are gonna win. And didn't Fields get hurt?
I'm not sure. I think he's playing.
Oh, well, I thought he got hurt. So,
well,
not sure on that.
It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really matter, but I'm just pointing that out as
talk about having a running back, a quarterback. Everybody accuses Lamar of doing that, but I think the Bears' situation is worse with Fields. So, you're going Buffalo by how many?
Ooh, it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
2 touchdowns and a field goal.
17? That's about what I was going to say. About 17 points. Although the Bears can run the ball. Montgomery can run the ball. And so if Fields plays, he can run the ball. Unfortunately, he cannot throw the ball. So Buffalo, I don't know, their defense hasn't been looking really that good lately. But their offense hasn't looked as good as it did at the beginning of the year. They don't look like they're the doorbusters that they were at the beginning of the season. But I'm still going to take Buffalo by about 17 because Chicago is just, they don't have anything left. They really don't.
Unless Josh Allen just doesn't do anything. Like, sometimes he just, like, doesn't do anything. I'm conflicted about Josh Allen. But anyway.
The only way they don't win by 17 is Buffalo looks past this. I don't even know who they got next week. But I don't care if they got Athena next week. It's going to be a harder game than the Bears.
All right, next up is the Giants and the Vikings. I mean, surprisingly, this is kind of hard for me. Uh, uh, I guess I'm gonna go with the Vikings again with the odds, but like, I think that it's not gonna be a blowout though. I think it's gonna be close, like a field goal. I think the Vikings will win by a field goal, which they should be blowing everybody out with the talent that they have on their team.
Well, offensively they do.
No, yeah, offensively. Um, and Kirk Cousins cursed, so really all I gotta say. But again, Kirk Cousins isn't playing in prime time, so
For
he's got a prime time curse.
for the
Or opposite. He does good in prime time.
he is good prime time.
Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter if it's prime time or not. If the Vikings beat the Giants will be eliminated from Super Bowl contention. The Giants, I think the Vikings are probably the worst 11-3 team I've ever seen.
Yeah.
They are not that good. I don't know how they're winning games. But the Giants, they're not that good either. They're both don't deserve the record that they have. But I'm going to take the Giants to win this game.
Ooh.
I think the Giants are the better team. I really do overall. They have a little bit better defense, a little bit less offense than the Vikings, of course. Nobody has the offense that the Vikings have. I mean, except for a quarterback. But the talent that they have, offense is incredible. But maybe the 49ers come close on offense.
Yeah.
They have a lot of offensive weapons too. But I'm going to go with the Giants. Close game, field goal wins it for the Giants in a last second variety.
All right. Next we got the Lions and the Panthers.
Lioness.
Lioness. Well, I'm going with the Lioness because I feel like the Lioness they aren't that bad. I mean, they've had a lot of close
5 or 6 in a row, haven't they?
Yeah, and also the games that they've lost have been very close in very Lion fashion. They've been very close. Um, so they're not that bad, and the Panthers are straight up garbage. Again, the Panthers are garbage. And they got rid of Baker Mayfield, and that was their fatal flaw. So, hey, you know what I'm saying? So, Lioness by touchdown and a field goal.
There you go. By Lions by 10. Okay, the Panthers are actually better than their record shows. The Panthers aren't bad. They're a solid team. They got a solid defense. All right, their offense is okay.
They got rid of C-Mac though. Too.
Okay, addition by subtraction. Very good point. This is a tough game because the Lions are on fire, and the Panthers are playing solid all year long. This is another close game. I'm going to go with the Panthers, though. I'm going to go with the Panthers by a field goal or less in this game.
Okay.
And I like Eastern time to beat Seymour. Oh, that's not a game? Okay.
All right, we got the Seahawks versus the Chiefs.
The Chefs.
The Chiefs. The Chiefs are winning by. I guess I'm gonna go with the 2 touchdowns again. I mean, it could be more, honestly. It could be like 2. Actually, I'm gonna say 2 touchdowns and a field goal. That's what I'm gonna say. Well, you said in the beginning of the season that the Seahawks might not win a game. They're 7-7, Dad.
I don't recall that. Don't pull that video up. Don't pull that one up.
But Gino, I had faith in him, and he's letting me down. If I'm gonna be honest here. And yeah, the Seahawks, they aren't good. Let's put it that way. And the Chiefs, pretty good. Pretty good. Just comes down to that.
So the Chiefs won by how many?
I said 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
17. Okay. The reason why she says 2 touchdowns and a field goal instead of 17 is because she can't add them together. Even though she got a 90, what did you get in your final?
In the class, I got...
That was your class rate?
Yeah.
98?
Yeah.
98.1. And she can't even add 8 plus 6. 8 plus 6, go ahead, do it, quick. I told you. And she got a 98 in college, 98.1 average in math. Somehow.
Calculator.
Somehow.
Listen, all you need to know is the formula. See, they don't teach you real math.
Okay, anyway, she says 17. I will say the Chiefs have been struggling with mediocre teams. And they have another mediocre team coming in. I say the Chiefs win by 7. Only because they're not playing well at all.
Okay. So now we got the Texans and the Titans. Ooh, the TT, double T. Wow. The Texans. Struggling, aren't they? Well, honestly, people are gonna hate me for this one. I'm gonna say the Texans.
The Texans with their second win.
And I'll tell you what. I really feel like, despite King Henry, who's my king, by the way, he's my king, and I love
Jesus
him.
isn't your king? Henry? What?
King Henry is his nickname.
No. You said that's my king.
Yeah, because I love Henry.
Okay.
Sorry, Jesus. Okay. Anyway, so the Titans are trash. Really. I mean, I don't know how they got to 7-7. At least the times that I've seen them. Not impressive at all. And the Texans are also trash. But I like... listen, I've been going with the odds every time. And I don't think that... I don't know. I think it'll be close. Very, very close. Despite people thinking that it's going to be a blowout, probably. Because of the Texans are playing. And they suck. But here's the thing. I like a good underdog story. And honestly, I'm just rooting for the Texans to win. I think that would be very funny. And something in my heart is telling me that the Texans are going to win this game. And the Titans are really trying. They really are. They probably are equal to the Texans in skill besides Henry. Take Henry away. You know what I'm saying? And what do they got?
What would he do? Oh, I thought he... No? He didn't commit. Okay.
No.
You said take him away. I thought maybe he...
Because that's it. Just shut up. Just pick your... Yeah. By a field goal.
Okay. The Texans are playing well lately. The last couple of weeks, they've hung right in there.
That's what I'm saying.
Against teams. And, yeah, I think this is going to be a real close game. I'm going to take Tennessee to win this game by 4 points. 4. But that's it. At home. And it was at Texans. Maybe I would pull the upset, but I think Tennessee will hang on at home. To win by 4, it's going to be a closer game than people think.
All right.
The next game.
Uh-oh. All right. The Falcons and the Ravens. We got a birdie game here. Bird
We got a
versus
soccer
bird.
game coming up here.
Yep.
Over the back line of this game is 3. And I played it under.
Well, the Ravens are coming back from their worst game they've ever played in the history of the franchise. The Falcons are mediocre. What mid means. Okay. This is hard because my heart wants the Ravens to win, but like something is telling me that something catastrophic is happening to the Ravens right now. And Lamar's not going to play this week.
Most likely not going to play.
Like
He hasn't practiced.
Haha.
He's playing. But he has not practiced all week. They have not said whether he's going to play or not, but I'm thinking he's not going to.
Well, there's no way.
Well, here's the thing. The backup quarterback, Huntley, has a bad shoulder.
Yes.
So they may be going with their third and possibly fourth string quarterback to play this game.
Mm-hmm.
However, the Falcons are starting a rookie from Cincinnati, I believe it was, Ritter. He started last week, did not look good. And the Ravens, although they're missing a corner too, this might be a tough game for the Ravens, actually.
That's what I'm saying. My heart wants to choose the Ravens, but I don't know. Especially, by the way, let me just mention Greg Roman. I hate you. I hate you. Okay? Hate is a strong word, and that's the feelings that I feel for you. Tyus Bowser, by the way, posted a thing on his Instagram story that had a picture of a paper that was posted on their front door that said "Fire Greg Roman."
He made it.
And Greg Roman, I guess, called him in to talk about it. But I guess everything's okay.
You're an offensive coordinator. I play defense.
I guess the meeting went okay, from what was reported. But Bowser is right. Fire Greg Roman. He's an idiot. And I really want I want the Ravens to win. And the third string guy, like you mentioned before, he played pretty good in preseason.
Played really good.
So I guess I'm gonna go with the Ravens by field goal for Matt Tuck. Had a little tough week last week, but he's okay now. He's okay.
He did kick a 53-yarder last week. People fell to mention
Point
that.
out, yeah.
Yeah, but and the other one was blocked, so
yeah.
Who knows why that was blocked? He wouldn't have told you if it was a blocking assignment. Tucker wouldn't have said it, but it would have been good if it wasn't blocked. It looked pretty good for 3 feet before it got blocked. Anyways, the Ravens are going to win this game 3-0. And I'm going to push on my back line number of 3. Probably going to be a tough game even for me and Du to watch.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to watch it though. But we might be tied to a chair. But we will watch the game. And I don't think the Falcons are going to do much on offense against the Ravens. They're a running team. The Ravens can stop the run. Teams don't run on the Ravens. The Ravens will win this game, and it's going to be very low scoring also because the Ravens are going to run the ball quite a bit in this game. But like I say, they might be doing it with a third or fourth string quarterback, which, I mean, once you get past Lamar, it really doesn't matter too much. So, anyways, Ravens 3, Atlanta 0. Take it to the bank, okay?
All right, Commanders and 49ers. I just have to say, I have a soft spot for the Commanders. I feel like if you've watched this show before, you know that. My boy McLaurin. I love him. I love him. Why
don't you marry him?
Thank you, Pee-wee. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go with the 49ers. They just have more talent, and in the 49ers case, I guess that doesn't really matter because they still do poo-poo. Very poo-poo. They don't have a quarterback, so... And that's their fatal flaw. But the 49ers are still going to win. A touchdown.
Okay, 49ers have the most talented team in the league by far.
Yeah.
By far.
Minus what I said, a quarterback.
Well, they don't have a quarterback, but Purdy is probably a lot better than Garoppolo.
Oh, yeah, by far.
Okay.
I think that he the way that I saw him playing, he was not bad. He was pretty good.
He's okay. The people that watched him play in college and played against him in college rave about this guy.
Yeah.
So, and he's only played a couple games, so he might turn into a good quarterback. The one of the GMs thinks he's going to be the franchise quarterback for the next 15 years. So that's just one man's opinion, but I don't know about Purdy, but I will say the 49ers, you just look at any position, and they're just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
They got McCaffrey now, and if Debo's out right now, but then, they still got they got Kittle, and they got decent receivers. Besides that, they got a great offensive line. Their defense is phenomenal. Got a great pass rush, and their secondary is pretty good. Poor Washington. They're 49ers are going to win this game by as many points as they want to win this game by. Depending on when they pull their starters, I will say the 49ers will win this game by 21.
Wow.
Yeah, easy win for the 49ers.
Okay. We got the Eagles.
Eagles.
And the Cowboys. Or should I say the Cowgirls. Now, how are the Cowboys favored to win this game?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I don't know, but Eagles really didn't look very good last week, but
Is Hurts hurt?
Yeah, maybe, if he doesn't play, who's the backup quarterback?
I don't even know.
Oh, they got the guy that played for Jacksonville. What's his name? The guy that they had the mania over when he was playing those games last year. I can't think of his name because I can't think of anybody's name.
Yeah, I can't.
But he's not bad.
No,
He's
no,
not
he's
bad.
not. No.
So I think they can. I think they can beat Dallas with.
Yeah, no.
If the Eagles want to win this game.
Yeah. Stephen A. Smith will be smoking a cigar this week, and the Eagles will win. I'm gonna say by a touchdown and a field goal.
That is 10 points. I gotta agree with you. I think they're gonna win by about 10. I think that Philadelphia is more talented than Dallas. Dallas has got a lot of talent though too, but they have a quarterback problem also. Dak has thrown, how many interceptions has he thrown the last?
I don't even know.
Like 6 weeks, he's thrown like 10 interceptions or something. It hasn't been good. He lost the game for him last week in overtime.
Somebody bet the Eagles. So stupid.
That's like what they call that, a fishy line. Like they're begging you to take the Eagles. Even with a backup quarterback, I would take Philly over Dallas. They have a 3-game lead, and I don't even know who's in second place in the NFC, but they haven't wrapped up home field, I don't think, yet. But I'm going to take the Eagles. I'll take the Eagles by 10.
All right, next we got the Raiders and the Steelers. We got 6-8, tied record. And the Raiders are coming off a interesting win, to say the least. Patriots, the lateral. That was really funny, and I enjoyed that. Sometimes if I feel sad, I rewatch it to get a laugh. I don't know. I just hate the Patriots. Anyway. I don't want either of them to win. To be honest with you, I don't have a strong hate for the Raiders like I do the Steelers. But I don't think that the Raiders even like deserve to win. Like they're just like, how do you waste the talent of Devonte Adams? Like, in
By
my
having
opinion,
Carr for quarterback. That's how
it's
you lose.
crazy. Like, and I don't want the Steelers to win at all. But I don't know. I guess I'm gonna say the Raiders. Maybe they'll be hyped from the win last week. I don't know. I by a field goal.
Raiders by field goal.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the first bowl game of the year. This is the Toilet Bowl. The Raiders at the Steelers. Um, I I'm going to take Pittsburgh in this game. Pittsburgh's favored to win, and I'm going to take Pittsburgh in this game. Again, close game. Raiders usually plays close games. Steelers usually play close games. I'm going to take the Steelers, although I hope they don't win because the Cook has never had a losing record since he's been in Pittsburgh.
Really?
So, yeah, so if they lose this game, he has a losing
That's
record.
surprising.
Congratulations.
All right, now we got the Christmas games. Only 3 games on Sunday. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, we got the Cheeseheads versus the Finns.
Tough game.
The Finns, obviously. Let's go. I'm cheering for the Dolphins so hard. And I would just like everybody to know that last Saturday, right, when the Bills played the Dolphins last Saturday, what did I say? I said
You said let's go watch Queen concert instead.
we went to a Queen tribute band, but my mother said, oh, they're gonna crush the Dolphins. I was like, what does she know? No. I said, don't you count the Finns out. Don't you count. And you know what? They played a tough game. That's all I have to say. They have very much talent, and I'll admit, I'm kind of on the Tua bandwagon. I kind of think that he's kind of good. I'm not even gonna lie to you. The Packers, Aaron Rodgers, get off the psychedelics and do something, bro. What do you get off the Pat McAfee show and start practicing? I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he just needs to retire. I'm not really sure. I mean, he's not playing that bad, but it's pretty bad. To the point where Tua is outdoing him. And I think, honestly, it comes down to that because both their defenses are weak, but I feel like the Dolphins' defense is a little bit stronger. The Packers have always had a bad defense for some reason. Like, I feel like every year they do. So I'm going to go with the Dolphins, who are favored, and I'm going to say by 10 again.
I think this is going to be a really close game. Green Bay, I think is. I'll take them to win by less than 3. I think that Green Bay's playing better lately. Their rookie receivers are really starting to play good now. Aaron Rodgers, I saw him interviewed last week after the game. He didn't cry. Didn't appear to be on any psychedelic drugs. So he's straightening himself out, I think, a little bit. Dolphins they're good offensively, but defensively, they really haven't shown much on defense. I think Green Bay's going to run the ball on Miami, so I don't think it's going to be a very high-scoring game, as people might think, because I think Green Bay's going to run the ball, try to take some time off the clock, so keep those wide receivers off the field for Miami. It's going to be a real close game. Wouldn't surprise me if the Dolphins won, but I'm going to go with Green Bay.
All right. So.
Okay. Broncos at the Rams. Okay, the reason why this isn't the toilet bowl is because it's below the toilet. What's below the toilet? This is the sewer bowl. Okay, this is the sewer bowl. The toilet is too good for this game.
The Rams. are winning this game. Let's go, Baker. No, listen. I believe in Baker. I've always believed in him. I want him to succeed.
All right, this has got to be another low-scoring game. This is going to be. All right, the back line on this game is 4. The Ravens game is 3. This game is 4. It might be too high.
Yeah.
That might be too
Take
high.
the under.
It might be 0-0 overtime in this game.
Well, I'll tell you what. Yeah, the Rams are winning this game, even though the Denver Broncos are favored to win.
Are the Broncos favored? Oh
Yes.
my gosh.
Yeah, there's no way.
How far is the Rams falling?
You guys count Baker out. Don't count Baker out. Alright, he's got more commercials coming up. Anyway. Rams are winning this by field goal. Thank you.
Okay, I got the Rams by a field goal too. The final score is going to be 5-2. 2 safeties in the game. And a field goal for the Rams. A field goal for the Rams on a turnover by. Is Russ playing? I don't know if he's playing.
Yeah.
I think he didn't play last week. That's why they won.
No, I think he is playing.
Okay, so Russell Wilson interception leads to a Rams field goal, and then 2 safeties, and it's 5-2 final.
We got the Bucks and the Cardinals. This sucks. This is the like the primetime game on Christmas. Like this is like the time where like everybody's gonna be watching the TV, and this is the game you put on to get more viewers. What the? Anyway. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. Sorry to our one fan.
Where's your one fan? He's gone.
No.
What fan? What?
Sal.
Oh, Sal.
Because he was a Buccaneers fan.
Oh, because Sal's a Buccaneers fan.
Yeah, I'm going with the Cardinals. Is Kyler Murray playing?
No, he's out for the year.
Oh, that's what I thought. But
They had McSorley in last week.
yeah, I know Trace McSorley throwing on a dime, like I ain't even trying. Just a kid from Briarwoods. He's wearing number 9.
Yeah, he was pathetic last week.
Remember that last year?
You're going with the Cardinals. I'm going to go with the Bucks. They really don't need the game because that division doesn't matter. They could lose the last 3 games and still win the division because that division is so pathetic. But I'm going to go with Mr. Thomas Brady, the GOAT, Mr. Thomas Brady.
You're making a mistake.
Brady.
You know, I think every week I've gone. Every week.
The GOAT.
Stop.
Brady.
Stop. I think every week I've gone against the Broncos and the Buccaneers every single week. Because you know why. Everybody knows why. But, needless to say, I'll say by a field goal.
All right, I'm going to say the Bucks by touchdown.
Okay. Now we got the last one, the Chargers versus the Colts. Colts had an interesting week.
They were up 33-0 at halftime last week and
I
lost.
was waiting for you
Are
to
you
say
kidding
it.
me?
By the way.
But they hadn't had Ryan at quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. Who has blown?
So was it really a surprise?
Hold on. Let me get this stats up here. You say your prediction.
Okay. I'm going to say. We'll start. Nick Foles will start for the Colts. Right?
Oh yeah.
Nick Foles. Okay, I'm gonna go with the Chargers. Chargers are a better team.
Yeah. Well.
Chargers are going for the 9th win. Chargers actually are. They're. Herbert's a great quarterback.
Oh, I love Herbert. Yeah.
Herbert, they got some good receivers, good running backs. Defense is okay. They're a solid team. Chargers are a solid team.
Yeah, they are a solid team.
And the Colts aren't. And the Chargers need the game, and the Colts. The Colts don't play too bad sometimes. They look good in the first half.
Listen, I would be a terrible sports analyst because I would go with my heart every time with the stupid predictions that I say, and so it's literally been the whole year that I've been saying all this stuff.
But
Doing
I'm gonna
stupid things.
go. Chargers are favored to win, and I'm gonna say they're gonna win by 10.
So as I was saying about the terrible sports analyst, yeah, I'm going with the Colts on this one. You know why, Dad?
Oh, false.
Foles magic. He's back again. He did it with the underdog, Eagles, back in 2017. Everybody doubted him. But what did he do? Great playoff run. Great season he had.
First of all, the Colts are at an extreme disadvantage in this game. First of all, they got to use an extra player to push Foles' wheelchair. And I don't know, actually,
I hate you.
I don't know the Chargers, how they're going to sack him. I don't know. Lean his chair back. I don't know how you sack a guy in a wheelchair.
You know what? Stop. Because I think Flacco is Foles' age. So.
Doesn't matter how old he is.
That's what you're saying, though. You know what? Stop. Because Foles.
All right, I'll leave Foles alone.
Thank you. And just wait, Dad. Just wait. They blew the biggest lead in NFL history. Now they're coming back. And you know what? If they lose, it's the defense's fault, not the offense's fault.
Okay, what's going to happen is the Colts are going to be leading by 21. Foles gets hurt.
No.
Who comes in? Matthew. Game over. Chargers win.
That's true. Anyway, Matt Ryan has been on the losing end of the biggest blown leads in international game history, regular season history, NFC Championship game history, and Super Bowl history. So
Nice career.
Yeah, it's a great career he's having. So congratulations to Matt Ryan for breaking records.
How did he do at Boston College? Did he blow any big leads in college?
I don't know. But
Maybe they forgot to include that on his list.
yeah, I don't know. But as long as Foles stays in the game, they'll be okay. And as long as the defense doesn't blow it by a field goal. I love Herbert though. I'm not upset if the Chargers win. I'm really not.
As Ravens fans, we should be rooting probably for the Colts.
Well, that's what I'm doing. So
Yeah.
maybe you're just a bad Ravens fan.
No, I doesn't matter what my heart says. I have to go with what my wallet says.
All right. Oops. Sorry. Gotta make my camera bigger. All right.
And there we are. Wait, are we moving? We're live. We're live.
We've been live for an hour and
wait,
38 minutes.
Whoa.
Yeah, we went way over. So if you stayed through this whole thing, I'm sorry. Number one, and number two, thanks.
You probably saw a really good podcast tonight. So tell your friends. We want to get up to double figures by next year. For viewers.
Hey, listen. We got some stuff planned. At least in my head, I have some stuff planned that we can do. And it's not just podcasts. What?
I'm looking through your head.
Oh, shut up. I'm joking. All right. Well, we wish you a Merry Christmas.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And if you're Jewish, Merry Christmas.
What? All right. Same bat time.
Same bat channel.
See you next week.